All right, gents, I want to talk about the difference between accuracy and precision. Now, you know I believe that the key to accuracy is consistency. You want to make those hits on the long-range targets, you've got to have your body and all your equipment set up the same way every time. Now, I hate that the push now is for everybody that once they zero, they all want to run out to the unknown distance range and start banging away at their 12-inch steel pie plates, 6, 7, 800, 13, 1500 meters away. Right? What I hate is when they shoot at that plate at 1100 meters and they end up missing, they immediately start making windage corrections and everything else. Now, they need to stop and ask themselves, did they make that mistake? Was it because of a bad wind call, or was it because they were outside the limits of their accuracy? Now, what do I mean by that? All right, so precision is the mechanical capability of that weapon. For example, we would call this a half MOA gun or a 1 MOA gun. Now, that's based on the construction of the firearm, the ammo, and the optics. Now, on the flip side, you have accuracy. Accuracy is the shooter's ability to take full advantage of the inherent precision of that weapon to engage targets. Right? Now, a good way to measure that is by shooting grouping drills. I'm a big fan of grouping drills. Now, when you look at a group size, for example, a 1 MOA gun at 300 yards that would be a 3-inch shot group. Right? Now, there's 3 factors that affect that shot group size. The first is the weapon's capability. How accurate is that gun? How well is it made? It really comes down to, it's a great barrel, free floating versus this, that. Just good guns shoot well. All right, now ammo also plays a big factor there. Now, that bullet, the more aerodynamic that bullet is, that ballistic coefficient, it will have an ugly bullet, makes a fat shot group, a real smooth, fast shooting bullet with a lot of attention to detail in it will have a very tight shot group. Now, that bullet is only half of that equation, that projectiles of that cartridge. That's only half of it. Right? The other half is the powder that's in it. People that hand load their own ammo, a lot of times can hand load more accurate ammo than, let's say, your store-bought stuff. That's not always the case. A lot of good companies, Hornady puts out a lot of great accurized ammo. Applied Ballistic Munitions, lots of great accurate ammo, and a lot of that's not just the bullet that they're using, is they're very meticulous in that amount of gunpowder. Now, if you've got a bullet that's got a lot of gunpowder in it and you're only 1/10 of a grain off of the amount of gunpowder in it, and it's got 40 grains, that's not big of a deal. But if you're shooting very small bullets, let's say you're shooting competition 5.56, if you're 1/10 of a grain off when you've got a very low powder charge, that's a greater percentage of change. And what you're going to see is different muzzle velocities, and that shot group's not going to be round. It's going to start stringing high and low. All right, so now that shot group has opened up. All right, now shot group wide, capabilities of the bullet, if you were running it in a vise, but if it starts running up and down, a lot of times that's the difference in powder charge, or maybe you've got a worn out barrel, the chamber, not catching all that gas, but you're getting inconsistent chamber pressures, which equates to inconsistent muzzle velocities. All right, so first factor is that weapon's capability, but the second one's the shooter's capability. How well does he know the fundamentals of shooting? All right, how stable of a platform he's making, but that's half of the shooter. The other half is him physically. A lot of guys just don't have good eyes. A lot of guys have a natural tremor in their body. If you're a meth addict, you're probably not going to make for a very good sniper. Right, so there's a lot that plays into it. And then our third factor, that's the spotter's capability. How well can he estimate range? How well can he estimate winds? Calculate all those effects of all your environmental factors that are going to affect the flight of this bullet. All right, so now let's measure all this. How you do that? You don't do that on an unknown distance range. Go out to a known distance range, like the one we're on, with big fat paper targets, put a very small marker on it, and do grouping drills. All right, get out there and actually measure how well do you, or just how accurate are you? It's not about just spending all the money on a precision weapon, all right? It's the whole package.
3 o'clock, point 2.
Point 2.
4 o'clock, point 1. 2 o'clock, point 1. How did that one break?
Clean.
3 o'clock, point 3. 3 o'clock, point 1. 2 o'clock, point 1.
Rounds complete.
Rounds complete.
Examples shot from the same yard line, right? This guy right here, granted he pulled one, but if you look at the majority of the group, guys, that's great shooting, right? That's good accuracy. 300, 400, 500 meter line, if that was from a 100 meter line, depending where you shot it, okay? A 2-inch shot group from the 100 meter line, that's a 2 MOA gun, all right? That's not a very accurate rifle, okay? That's a accurate 30-30 basically is what that is, right? But if this was shot from the 500 meter line, that would be a nice tight shot group. The guy on the line right next to him, they're shooting the same ammo, same type rifles. Shot groups opened up a bunch, right? See, that's the difference between precision and accuracy. This is precision weapon being shot by an accurate shooter. You get a shooter weapon combination, a sniper weapon system that's shooting less than 1 minute of angle. Over here, our shot group has opened up, right? Quite a bit, right? This is shooter error. Chances are it's shooter error. Now, is it always going to be shooter error? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe we have problems with the firearm, all right? But if a guy that's shot real accurate one time, he jumps on another gun, it's open, well, okay, maybe the gun's not sized to him. Right here, great shot group. Another example. This one, all, let's say, shot at the same distances. This guy's got a sub-MOA shot group. Doing grouping drills, this is how you realize that. This shooter right here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullets spread laterally. Now, what would make a shot group open up? We'll say it's not the shooter, because they say it's never the shooter's problem, it's the gun or the ammo, right? If it's an ammo or barrel issue, it's gonna open up symmetrically, all directions. Right, because that thing's spinning, that bullet's spinning. So it's not gonna just always veer off to one side or the left, it's not, all right? Winds weren't any higher for this guy than it was this guy. We had the same guy spotting for both of them. It's probably not a wind error, all right? That's, I would say, all right, that's a 4-inch shot group, guys. Probably closer to 5-inch shot group. That's a 5 MOA gun, huh? Yep. It's not the gun's fault sometimes. Now, let's say you've got a shot group like this, very similar, right? Still just about as wide, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Same width roughly, but it's up and down. It could be the shooter, but it might be the ammo, or it might be the weapon. Well, Carl, what's the difference? This one's up and down, and the only reason why I want to point this out is you may have ammo that's flying at different muzzle velocity. In other words, the powder charge isn't the same in that ammo, or the chamber walls are not catching consistent chamber pressure. So if you see this, you got a guy that normally shoots real tight shot groups, and all of a sudden he's stringing high and low, it may be a bad lot of ammo. Put another shooter behind his gun. If you put another shooter with that gun and that ammo, and he shoots a nice tight shot group, then it was the shooter. But if another shooter is having the same problem, rounds running high and low, then that's inconsistent muzzle velocity. That's ammo that's not consistent for accuracy. All right, and that's a powder problem. It's not necessarily a projectile problem. So my point though is by analyzing your shot groups, you can determine not just any issues or problems that you're having with your equipment, right, as far as it being a precision weapon system, but you can also at the end of the day tell yourself honestly in the mirror, hey, me and my equipment, I am a half MOA shooter, or I am a 2 MOA shooter. I may just be a 2 MOA shooter, but I'm a very fast 2 MOA shooter. So anyways, you know the deals. You got any questions or comments, be sure to leave them below. I know you internet ninjas are gonna have a bunch of questions. And speaking of internet ninjas, if you want to support Tactical Rifleman, go to the end of the video, click on the button. We'll see you next time. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter so you don't miss out on anything.